balaba Girivaraja Hari Jaya Yasodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiya Hari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiya Hari Jaya Gopijana balaba Grivarada Hari Jaya Gopijana balaba Grivarada Hari Jaya Yasodanandana Vajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Vajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiya Hari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiya Hari Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Nitago Haribo 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 Nitago Haribo Jai go Haribo 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 Nitago Haribo Nitago Jaya Vishnupa Paramahansa Parivrajakaracharya Sutasatya Srimati Esi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jaya Vishnupa Paramahansa Parivrajakaracharya Sutasatya Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Namachaya Slaridasta Koki. Sri Krishna Balaram ki. Sri Radha Shamasunda ki. Sri Guru Chanda ki. Sri Prabhupada ki. Nitai Gopi Manande. All glory to the same devotees. All glory to the same devotees. All glory to the same devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga. Om Jnanati Mendasya Ganangana Salakaya Chaksusu Miltanye Natasmasi Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtan Stapitayana Bhutale Sayarupa Kadācana Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sivitam Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavascha Serupam Sagyata Sahagana Raghunata Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devan Sri Radha Krishna Padasa Gana Lalita Sri Visakhavitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopisa Gopika Kanja Radha Kanta Namastute Tata Kanchana Gorange Radha Vrindavan Isvara Vrishabhan Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Praye Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramadana Devaki Paramananda Krishna Bande Jaganguru Panchakapatarubhyascha Kripasvindibhevacha Patitanam Pavanabhebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Ananda Lila Maya Vigraja Imabada Vichavi Sundaraja Tasma Maha Prema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandra Namo Namo Sute. So I thank everyone for being here this evening for the Bhagavad-Gita class. And also I thank those who are watching from the Vrindavan TV. Give me this Bhagavad-Gita. This is Hindi. Alright, so we are Bhagavad-Gita chapter 2. Lord Krishna is instructing Arjuna, his dear disciple. Arjuna is Krishna's dear devotee, but Krishna has taken the role of a guru, spiritual master. So Krishna is called as I said, Krishna Bande Jagat Guru, which means we offer our respectful obeisances to that spiritual master of the whole world, Krishna. So he is the Guru. And of course, all the Vedic knowledge is coming from him. And from him, everything emanates. So it means we may have different personalities who plays the role of a guru, of a spiritual master. But Krishna is the original spiritual master. He is God, he is Bhagavan. So he is God and he is the origin of everything. So here, Arjuna, he's been hearing the instruction about the science of the soul, and now the Lord is now coming to about the activities, karma. This is very, very important subject, karma. Okay, we first. Oh, where's it? Oh, the text on the bar. So we read the text, then the translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Karmaṇi evādhikāras phaleṣu kadācana karma-phala-hetur bhūr mate saṅgo karmaṇi karmaṇi evādhikāras phaleṣu kadācana karma-phala-hetur bhūr mate saṅgo karmaṇi. Karmaṇi evādhikāras karma-phala-hetur bhūr mate saṅgo karmaṇi. Karmaṇi evādhikāras mate saṅgo karmaṇi.
Karmaṇi evādhikāras phaleṣu kadācana karma-phala-hetur mate saṅgo akarmaṇi. Karmaṇi evādhikāras phaleṣu kadācana karma-phala-hetur mate saṅgo karmaṇi. Karmaṇi evādhikāras phaleṣu kadācana karma-phala-hetur mate saṅgaḥ karmaṇi.
Mothers? I said mothers. Is that ladies? All right, go ahead. Who's chanting? Okay. phaleṣu kadācana karma-phala-hetur mate saṅgo karmaṇi. So I remember when we were young devotees, young brahmacharis, we used to learn verse just by this recitation. By the time everybody go around and you repeat after them, you memorize the verse. By that time we were very, very young, 18, 19 years old. It was easy to memorize slokas. So okay. So we read the word for word meaning. Karmaṇi in prescribed duties. Eva certainly adhikāraḥ right. Te of you ma never. phaleṣu in the fruits. Kadācana at any time. Ma never. Karma-phala in the result of the work. Hetuḥ cause. Bhūr become. Ma never. Te of you saṅgaḥ attachment. Astu there should be. Akarmaṇi in not doing prescribed duties. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause or the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Purport. There are three considerations here: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duties are activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. Capricious work means action without the sanction of authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. The Lord advised that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he performs his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of the action. Thus, he is the enjoyer or sufferer of the result of such actions. As far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. Routine work performed as an obligation in terms of the scriptural injunctions without desire for results is action in a mode of goodness. Work with results becomes the cause of bondage. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. Everyone has his proprietary right in regards to prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the results. Such disinterested, obligatory duties doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the result. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path of salvation for Arjuna. Karmaṇi evādhikāras, evādhikāras phaleṣu kadācana, karma-phala-hetur bhūr saṅgo astu akarmaṇi. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So the Lord is talking of action which must be performed. Karmaṇi. I remember when we used to preach in Southern Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, many years ago, like 40-something years ago. So that time, there were so many Gujaratis families, a lot of them. They used to work in Zimbabwe, Zambia. We used to preach to them. Now, very common among them, they will say, "Oh, Swamiji, I know Bhagavad-Gita, we know Bhagavad-Gita." Yes, everybody said, "Oh, we know Bhagavad-Gita." And then they say, "Oh, I can give you a sloka, I can recite a sloka for you." When we say, "Okay, recite a sloka," and then they will say, "Karmaṇi evādhikāras." Every single Gujarati knows this verse. Karmaṇi evādhikāras. Now, it so happened, they will only mention the first line. Second line, they will not go to the second line. Because Krishna said, phaleṣu kadācana, do not be attached to your duty. Do not be attached to the, phaleṣu kadācana. Don't be attached to the result. But everybody like, come on, evādhikāras. So, oh, you have to perform your duty. But what is duty? This is something that they don't know. What is duty? Because as Krishna is mentioned, according to the last few verses in this, to the rest of this chapter, the Lord talks about the intricacies of action. And then the whole of chapter 3 of the Bhagavad-Gita, it's all about actions. It's all about karma. And that's why it's called karma-yoga. So, as been explained, Krishna said the karmaṇi evādhikāras, phaleṣu kadācana, that you have a right, you have to perform your duty. The duty which adhikāraḥ means the which we are qualified for. The adhikāraḥ which we are qualified for, which means because everyone has got a particular duty by which one is suitable for. One suitable activities must be performed. So now, when we talk of karma, there are 3 types of karma. 3 types. There's karma, and there's vikarma, and then there is akarma. So karma is the prescribed work, the prescribed activities. And then vikarma is inauspicious activities, which means bad activities, vikarma. That is bad activities. And then akarma means not doing work, not performing activities. So both vikarma and akarma is actually considered to be sinful. Because vikarma simply means the horrible activities. Just like,
Akarma is actually doing activities for the pleasure of Krishna.
Anyway, let me just get to it. Okay. So, akarma means not doing activities. We're going to get to that point. So, vikarma, just like nowadays, in this day and age, majority of humans' activities are considered to be vikarma, inauspicious activities. Just like it's very, very common nowadays to engage in the production of weapons to cause destruction to the world. Just like this nuclear weapon by which the person, the so-called scientist who's making this, he think he's doing the right thing, but one nuclear weapon can annihilate a big section of human society. So many, all the activities of, slaughterhouse, engaging killing animals. This is not considered to be karma. You cannot say that, I'm a hunter, or because my father, grandfather, they are hunters, so therefore my prescribed duty is to be a hunter. That's my prescribed duty, is to be a hunter. So therefore, if you tell me not to stop hunting, so which means you are depriving me of my prescribed duties. But this is vikarma, because by such activities, you're going to suffer so much in your next life. Just as mentioned in the scripture, that when a person kills a cow, so that person will have to take birth in the hellish environment in as many lives as there are hair on the body of the cow. So you can just imagine. In as many lives, the person will take birth in the hellish environment. In as many lives as are the hair on the body of the cow. Can you give a number? Can you count? To count the numbers of hair that's on the body of a cow? You cannot. So, This is it. The Lord is talking. So, these actions, this karma and the akarma and vikarma is actually considered to be inauspicious for one to perform in this material world. Because one has some prescribed duties, apart from vikarma, which is always sinful. If one do not perform one's prescribed duty, that is also considered to be sinful. And that's what Krishna is telling Arjuna, that no, you have to perform your activity, you have to perform your duty. For example, the Lord is telling Arjuna that there is no better activities more suitable for you than fighting. Because you are Kshatriya by birth. By nature, you are Kshatriyas, and you are qualified for it. You are born in a Kshatriya family. You are trained, you are given training. So your adhikāraḥ is a Kshatriya, so you have to fight. You cannot say that, because the fight is so difficult, the family members are there, they are going to get killed. So therefore, this is very difficult activities, I'm giving it up, I'm going to the forest, I'm taking sannyas. No, that is not recommended. Krishna says, no, you cannot. Your activities must be performed. Karmaṇi adhikāraḥ. Adhikāraḥ means the qualification. What one is suitable for. That must be performed. And in non-performance of that, then there has to be a repercussion for that. So now, the intricacies of karma is described in the scriptures. Because how do we know what is karma? How do we know what is vikarma? And how do we know what is akarma? How do we know all these things? This can be known only through the scriptures. Because by our own speculation, we cannot determine what is karma and what is not karma. What is karma, what is not, what is karma, what is, you cannot determine it. So we have to go by the scriptural principles, by the scriptural regulations. So in the 11th canto Bhagavatam, remember Yogendra, they were talking with King Maharaj Nimi. They're discussing about karma. They're discussing it. So how we say is a karma akarma vikarmeti, which is karma akarma vikarmeti. 3. Karma, akarma, and vikarma. Karma akarma vikarmeti vedavado na lokika. Vedasya cheswarat matva tata munyati suraya. This is what they are saying. That this what is prescribed in the Vedic scriptures. So it said the prescribed duties, non-performance of such duties, and forbidden activities are topics one can properly understand through authorized study of the Vedic literature. This difficult subject matter can never be understood by mundane speculation. The authorized Vedic literature is the sound incarnation of the personality of Godhead himself, and thus Vedic knowledge is perfect. Even the greatest learned scholars are bewildered in their attempts to understand the science of action if they neglect the authority of Vedas. So it may mention here that this understanding karma, non-performance of the akarma or vikarma, this can be properly understood through the scriptural studies. So Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, he said, karma is actions prescribed by the scriptures. Akarma is action not prescribed by the scriptures. Vikarma is action forbidden by the scriptures. because these scriptures come from the Lord, people are bewildered. Ahamba sababhutane bhutatma bhuta bhavana sabd brahman param brahma mamobe sasuti tanu. I am all beings, I am the soul of all beings, I am the cause of all causes, I am the cause of all beings. The scripture and impersonal Brahman are my two eternal forms. So this is because the statements in the scriptures are not made by humans. It is easy to understand the meaning or intention of a human speaker, but for non-human statements, one must understand the real meaning only by traditional succession of statements. It is hard to understand. Even the learned are bewildered about karma, tatra, what to speak of others. So the Kumaras did not explain it to you because the sage, he was talking to Nemi Maharaj about the intricacies of karma, akarma, and vikarma. He's talking to them about the intricacies. So basically, as the Lord is saying in this text which we are reading today, that the vikarma and akarma are considered to be inauspicious, one cannot give it up. Now, the karma itself is also divided into three parts. The word karma is divided into three parts. There are three types of karma. One is nitya karma, which means the prescribed duties by which one has to, it's called prescribed duties. This is nitya karma, by which one is suitable for, one is qualified for to do, one is, by which one has the adhikāraḥ. The adhikāraḥ, one is suitable for. This is called nitya karma. For example, if you're a Brahman, being a Brahmana, that is nitya karma. And you have to perform the activities of a Brahman. Being a Kshatriyas, then performing the activities of a Kshatriya, that is nitya karma. Or being a Vaishya. So according to the Varnashram system, Varnashram is there which prescribe different activities for different people according to their mentality or according to their qualification. And everybody has to perform accordingly. And that's why the Lord is emphasizing to Arjuna that yes, there's no other duty for you than to fight. You have to fight. The whole point of Krishna speaking Bhagavad-Gita to Arjuna is to enable to get him to understand his action, his activities, what is his duty, for which is his duty is to fight, because it's a Kshatriya. So therefore he has to fight. And non-performance of that by saying, oh, this fight is difficult, let me go to the forest, or let me give it up. No, the Lord will not be pleased by that. So, and then there is what we call naitmika karma. Naitmika karma means the occasional duties. There are some activities which are not permanent activities, occasional duties. Because sometimes one may have to do some duty which is not part of one's regular qualification, or just something that needs to be done. It's just like it described that sometimes during the time of emergency, that members of the Varnashram system, they can perform different duties, which is not necessarily what they are qualified for. For example, it's mentioned that how sometimes a Brahman can take up the activity of a Kshatriya if it requires. This is in terms of emergency. A Brahmana can take up the activities of a Kshatriya, or a Kshatriya can take up the activities of a Vaishya. In terms of emergency, not all the time, in terms of emergency. Just like when Dronacharya, so Dronacharya was a Brahmana, but being a Brahmana, he was very, very poor. He was so poor that he could not even give milk to his son. He could not even give it to his son, Ashwatthama. So in order to alleviate his poverty situation, so he went to the palace of the Kauravas and became an instructor. He became a warrior instructor, where he became a guru of the Kshatriya, teaching them how to fight. And then he had to fight also. He fought and all that. So even though he was a Brahmana, but he took up this temporary duty because he needed that to address the emergency situation. Similarly, Parasuram also. Parasuram was a rishi, he was a sage. But Parasuram, he took up a weapon because there were indiscriminate Kshatriyas who had become corrupted. The Kshatriyas had become corrupted. So when they become corrupted, in order to address the situation, so Parasuram, he took up a weapon and started annihilating the Kshatriyas who had become very, very corrupted. And then, of course, eventually he has to give it up and then went back to the forest. So only when there is the time so that's called the nightmaker karma, by which it is performed. And then the third type of karma is called karma, which means the fruitive activities. The karma that you perform to get and then you get the result for that. You expect the result for that karma. Actually, the real karma is to perform without expectation of result. That's what Krishna is telling Arjuna in this text. Do not expect result. Phaleṣu kadācana. Karmaṇi evādhikāras. Phaleṣu. Do not at any time. Don't experience the result. But karma is when people desire the result of their activities. As a matter of fact, to most people in this world, the fact that they are performing activities is because they want some result. They want some fruit of their activities. That's the fact they have performed some result. If somebody come to work for you, and you tell the person that I'm not going to pay you, you have to just work. So they will say that you are crazy, I need payment for my work. So everyone wants the result for their work. So like for example, Arjuna may raise a question that if one has to perform activities and without any expectation of result, then what is the use of performing activities? What is the use? Why perform activities at all? So this is where yoga comes in. The activity that one performs, and one does not expect the result, but that activity is meant to please the Lord. This is called yoga. That's why it's called niskam karma yoga. So niskam karma yoga means desireless actions. Desireless actions is called niskam. Niskam karma yoga. Desireless action, and when you put yoga there, then the yoga there means the union with God. Because yoga can only be applied to God only, not to any other person. Yoga means to be in union with God. So niskam karma yoga, this is the desireless actions, by which one is performing actions, but the action is meant for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. It's not that, because as long as we're in this material world, we have to perform action. We cannot be inactive. The body, the soul always be active. We cannot be inactive at any moment. But when we perform the action, and then we are giving the result to God, then it becomes satisfactory. Whereas when we are performing actions, and then we are expecting the result, so sometimes the reward may be good and sometimes may not be good. As a matter of fact, our activities that we are performing in this world with the expectation of result is put us in bondage of materialistic existence. Because whatever we are doing, the bondages, they put us in bondage. Sometimes, depends on our activities, we may go high, we may go low. We may go high, we may go low, depending on our activities. Based on our previous actions, we are having a present birth. May be good or may be bad. So as long as we are performing actions, we have to get the result because we are performing action and we want to enjoy the benefit. So sometimes it may be good or most of the time it may be bad. And of course, that is it perpetuates our existence in this material world. You get different bodies based upon your actions. But the actions that one perform in Krishna consciousness or karma yoga does not lead one to samsara or the repetition of birth and death in the material world. The action that one performs in Krishna consciousness, when Srila Rupa Goswami, when he was describing devotional service to Krishna, he said, Anya bila asita asunya, gyana kamadhyana britam, ano kuyana Krishna, ano silana bhakti-yoga. So Srila Rupa Goswami is saying that Anya bila asita asunya, that one should not desire any other thing. Gyan, karma, the desire for knowledge, desire for fruits of one's action. One should not, it's actually say, one should not perform any actions at all. Jnana karma, no action, no engagement in meditation or cultivation of knowledge. But what should one do? Anukuyena Krishna, which means what can give pleasure to Krishna? What can be beneficial for Krishna? That is Anukuyena Krishna, which means we're talking of bhakti. Because the bhakti, which is devotional service, which is the real karma yoga, one is doing it, but it's not considered to be karma. It's not karma, it's not active, it's not action. It's actually the establishment in one's original position. One's original position, this is called the Nitya Karma or Nitya Krishna Das, which means one is eternal servant of Krishna. That's our eternal activities, that yes, we are eternal servant of Krishna, we are meant to serve him eternally. And being eternal servant of Krishna, one is performing it, is not expecting any result. One is just performing for the happiness of Krishna. So therefore a devotee who is engaging in devotional service, in bhakti, is never in any anxiety. He's never in any anxiety of anything, because he's performing actions for the pleasure of Krishna. So therefore, there is no particular apprehension or anything like that. Just like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in one of his songs, so he was saying that, my dear Krishna, he was praying to Krishna. He said, my dear Krishna, this household of mine, my so-called daughter, who is my daughter, she's your maid servant. And who is your son? Who do I call my son? My son is my so-called son is your servant. And who do I call my wife? She's your servant, your maid servant. And what is this house? This is your house, not my house. This is your house. So what is my role? My role, I'm simply a caretaker. So this house, because everything belongs to you, the house belongs to you, it's your house, this is your servant. I'm simply a caretaker on your behalf. So therefore, whatever happens in this house, happiness or distress, does not affect me. Anything that may happen there in the administration of this house doesn't affect me. So therefore, he sees himself as being carefree. So therefore, the devotees, they are always happy. The devotees of Krishna, they are always blissful because they are performing all the activities just to give pleasure to Krishna. And because it's meant to give pleasure to Krishna, so they do not suffer any mental agony while performing such activities. Because they don't see the result as meant for them. So Krishna said, mafaleh saṅgo akarmaṇi. Never desire anything. Never desire for the fruit of your actions. And even if there's something that it doesn't require to be done, Krishna said, do not be attached to it. Don't be attached. Saṅgo astu. Saṅgo means don't be attached, and don't be attached to it. Saṅgo astu akarmaṇi, not doing your duty. So this is some of the things that the Lord is talking about in this text. That yes, you have to perform your duties. So in devotional context, what is the duty? Our duty is, yes, we have to render service to Krishna. Because where Krishna does, eternal Krishna does. Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight. But what is that fighting? Fighting for him, for Krishna. And Krishna is telling Arjuna, you have to do your duty of fighting, but at the same time, do not be attached to the results. Because, why? The fighting is on behalf of Krishna. Krishna said, you fight for me. So because you fight for me, whatever may come out of that fighting, it's not up to you. It does not affect you, whatever may come up. Because you don't expect anything. There's no expectation of anything. Because you are not expecting anything, so therefore, as a devotee, he remains happy. A devotee remains blissful by performing activities by which one does not expect any particular reward, any particular results. So this is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. So this is called niskam karma. Niskam means desireless action. So that's what we have to. Do. These desireless actions. So our devotional service should be on that basis only. It's not that I have to do this because I want this, because I want that. So if we think that I have to do particular devotional activities because I want this, I want that, then it's no more devotional service. It's no more bhakti. Because devotional service means to please God, to please Krishna. That's what devotional service means. The moment we start expecting something, then it's not bhakti. It is something else. And because it's something else, that will never give us any satisfaction. That will never give us any happiness. So this is what we are told. When we render particular service to Krishna Balaram, it's meant for their pleasure. Krishna Balaram, Radha Sundar, we are rendering service to them. We are not expecting any reward, good or bad. We are not expecting it. We just want to give them pleasure. That's what service means. That's what service means. In the olden, in ISKCON, devotees, especially in the West, devotees just perform, they do service. As a matter of fact, devotees do all the act of cleaning, washing, all these things. Devotees do every service. In those days, there's no such a thing as employing people to come and clean the temple or to come and wash the pots or come and do the temple maintenance. No such a thing as devotees do everything. I remember in New Vrindavan, where I used to live, we built Purport's palace of gold. And Purport's palace was built 100% by devotees. Devotees were carrying all the bricks. We used to carry the bricks, laying the roads, and everything. 100% by devotees. Nice, beautiful Purport's palace. That's why it was called the labor of love. You know, it was called labor. Nobody was paid. Not a single cent was paid to anybody. I'm sure you've seen the New Vrindavan Palace of Gold. So which means in ISKCON, as ISKCON devotee, we really have to go back to that basics. We have to go back to that basic of how ISKCON grow, like in those days. And that's why His Holiness and Navayugada Maharaj is always emphasizing that devotees should not be paid. Why should we be paying the devotees? If you pay somebody who's doing service in the temple and you are paying them, then it's not service. It's not devotional service. Just employment, that's all. It's not devotional service. So, anyway, there's a lot of points in the aspect of karma. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that yes, you have to perform your duty, but do not expect any result. Karma-phala-hetur. Not at any time, kadācana, at any time, do not expect any result. Don't expect it. Just do your duty. Just perform your duty. That's what Krishna is telling Arjuna. So we have to listen to Krishna. If you listen to him, Krishna becomes pleased with us. Okay, Hare Krishna. So any question or comment? Yes.
Yes, thank you so much for the class. A little late. So that last comment that you made about if somebody is paid, then it's not devotional service.
Definitely.
But what you said was if you expect. So now, if somebody is discharging their duties, their prescribed duty, and if they're given, money or whatever, food or whatever it is, then that's okay if they receive it.
Yeah, the temple is maintaining person. That's okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's temple maintenance, You take prasada, you didn't leave your ashram. Yeah, temple is maintaining. That's okay.
And if they're working for an employer and that's their prescribed duty, right? Because in Kali-yuga, the Shastra says that everybody's Shudra. So that means we're all workers, right? We're all in that class.
But you can also be a Shudra for Krishna. So if you're a Shudra for Krishna, then you're not a Shudra, you're Krishna Bhakta. A Krishna devotee, a Krishna Bhakta is not known by any particular Varna. A Bhakta is a Bhakta. And a Bhakta will do everything.
Transcends the Varnashram.
Exactly.
Because the Varnashram is materialistic,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I remember I can only give example based on my own experience in New Vrindavan. One time, sometime when we were laying the roads, we were putting the bricks on the road. Everybody was doing it. Sannyasi, everybody was doing it. Doesn't matter even you're sannyasi. Everybody was doing it. Everybody was taking the bricks and laying the road on the ground, laying the roads. So a devotee of Krishna, he does anything and everything. When Prabhupada came to the West, when Prabhupada came to establish Krishna consciousness, he himself was doing everything because devotees don't know anything. So he was doing everything just to show how to serve Krishna. Prabhupada was cooking, he was cooking for devotees. He was washing the pot for devotees. You can just imagine Prabhupada, such a great personality. You can just imagine. He was cooking and washing the pot in 1966 because the devotees completely ignorant, they don't know anything. So this is what he has to do in order to teach us how to be Krishna conscious. And that was actually giving him bliss that, he was able to give Krishna consciousness to people, like that. So, again, so we have to follow this teaching, we have to follow this example. And that's why we have to constantly be thinking. We have to constantly be thoughtful about this process of Krishna consciousness. Constantly we have to be thoughtful all the time,
So now for Grahastas, for example, just to continue on, their prescribed duty is to work and provide income for the temple, donate to the temple, right?
Yeah.
So, but in Kali Yuga, if they don't expect monetary gain from their employer, they would not be able to survive.
I mean, if you're working outside, you get paid on the outside. Your employer is not a devotee. It's not a Krishna. It's just an employer. That's all.
Yes.
So you have to get the result of your work. But you take from your employer, but you give it to Krishna. Yeah. Just like Srila Bhaktivedanta used to have one disciple. He was a college professor. This disciple of Bhaktivedanta was a college professor. So what we'll do, and he was a dedicated disciple, he was completely dedicated disciple of Srila Bhaktivedanta. So at the end of the month, he would take his salary, which he got from his teaching professor at the college. He would take the salary, and then he would take it to Srila Bhaktivedanta. He would say, this is my salary, and it's up to the Guru to determine what is suitable for his maintenance. He was completely surrendered. He was working, but the fruit of his work is given to the Guru, and the Guru determine, okay, you have to maintain your family, this and that, and all that. But he was not like, this is... and of course, we have to understand that this is not an exploitation thing. This is not exploitative. Because whatever is done in devotional service is done out of love. There's no exploitation there. It's not that the Guru is so exploitative that you just, it's not such a thing. There's love. The love is there.
Next program's
Huh?
some meeting every year.
Some meeting? Yeah, we are almost at 7 o'clock. Which meeting is that?
I don't know, Dharmata called me.
Okay, I'll finish a few minutes. Anyway, I hope that is a little bit clear, a little bit understandable. Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you very much for listening. It's just said that we have to stop. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna.